What up, my lovely friends? We are back. The past week, or after I talked to you the last time, I actually did got sick again. Absolutely sucks, but that's what it is. I just got a flu, got a fever, a sore throat, and yeah, congested nose. And my nose are still a little bit congested, which is very annoying. When I work out, it's hard to breathe. I feel like I'm having breathing problems. And it doesn't help me that I'm also 121 kilos right now. So life is feeling a little bit differently from what it used to do. I'm starting to get really keen to get lighter, to be honest. I don't get how people can be like 140 kilos and just be okay with that, because right now at 120 it feels quite heavy. Life is a little bit harder. I feel like a tank in the gym, but outside of the gym I feel not super good all the time. I feel like everything is very heavy, and it goes in a lot of effort to do certain stuff. I feel like a little bit exaggerated perhaps, but I mean, it's a huge difference between like 112 and 120. That's what I feel, at least. And that's probably comes down to that I've been gaining a lot of weight very quickly. I mean, I started this journey at 102 kilos, and that was like 20 weeks ago, and now we're literally up 20 kilos. So my body has probably not adapted to it very well. So I guess next time if I do a diet, come down in weight, go back up to 120 again, that might be easier the next time. It might be just super hard the first time. Your body isn't like used to it, hasn't adapted to it, and all these things. So that probably makes sense as well. But some of these massive bodybuilders being like 160 kilos off season, how do you do it, man? That's insane. I feel heavy at 120, but we're grinding. We're still going strong, and we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're doing progress. My shoulder feels better, which is super good news. I'm super happy with that. Baxter helped me out a lot, the physio guy. He's an absolute legend. And so I did train with him. Everything felt quite good when I did train. I didn't get any pain, and I also had an issue with like a pinched nerve that was giving me some kind of like tingling feeling in my pinky, my ring finger when I was like pressing. But that feels good now. Most of the time, I have a little bit of it still, but it's getting better, very, very drastically better. So that's very nice. I'm super happy with that. And yeah, today is actually Sunday, which is kind of a good day here in Bangkok because it's not super much traffic. It's a little bit calmer in the city, which is a nice vibe for sure, especially living here when it's like super busy all the time. And it's actually a rest day for me. But what I've been doing the last few weeks on my rest days, actually training arms or mostly biceps. Because my sessions are very long anyways, and I have a hard time to focus. And I also feel like training in certain gyms where it's very hot because they don't have an aircon doesn't make it better. So take a few sets off. So just like my biceps training, I take that off usually from before my leg session and my lower session and put it on my rest days instead. So I go to the gym, I do some calves, I do some abs, I do some biceps. That's literally it, which is kind of nice actually. So I kind of train every day. It was a good decision for now, at least. That's what I feel. Let's see in the future, because I don't know, like the volume right now, or like the volume I've been using is probably a bit higher than I've been using before, but I feel like I'm able to recover from it, so it's still a good amount of volume, right? And I do progress in all these things, so it's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, for me, it takes a little bit too much of my time in the gym to be able to stay focused that whole time. And also when you train in a hot environment, it's very different. So yeah, I can't keep up with the training as fast as I would used to if I was training in an aircon gym, or probably a gym back home where it isn't that hot, you know. So I feel like it takes a little bit more time to recover between sets and so on. But yeah, overall, I'm doing good. As I said, I'm super keen to get on a diet and get a little bit lighter. So hopefully that will be the case soon. Let's see. I will chat with my coach and see what his thoughts are and where we at and so on. Because I mean, I still want to get the most out of my off season and don't leave that much on the table. And I still believe that I have a little bit of progress I can do. But also, is it really worth it? Because my sleep is also getting worse. My appetite is getting a little bit worse. You know, so it's like perhaps it's time to call it soon, or let's see. I don't really know. Perhaps we just, if we keep pushing for now, if sleep and appetite doesn't get better, perhaps we just like forcing things, and that's not gonna give us as much as we want. So let's see. I will have a chat with him and see. And I'm actually been looking at a show that I might do. I don't know. I've been a bit keen to do this show here in Bangkok. It's actually end of November. I think it's the 22nd of November. Unfortunately, the shows here are run very poorly. It's not. it's it's a shit show. It's literally a shit show. The last show I went to in Pattaya, where my friend competed at, is like, dude, it was literally a shit show. And I heard about this Bangkok show before, and it's not like a well planned show, right? But still, getting on stage, getting some experience, getting some more experience, and getting some, yeah, like get to learn my body even better is always a good idea. And if it's here in Bangkok and it's really close to me, that's mean it's gonna be quite affordable. It doesn't mean I have to travel somewhere and all these things, so I can still stay at home. And I mean, it's literally, if it's in the same location it used to be, that's literally like, I think it's like 10 minutes away from my home, which is like super convenient. So why not? So yeah, let's see. I might do that, and I'm actually really keen to step on stage and see my physique. Like, first of all, I gotta diet down and see if I'm actually where I want to be before I decide to do anything. Hopefully that's the case. The only thing I'm a little bit afraid of is my legs still. Are they gonna catch up with the rest of my physique, or is it gonna be just like my legs is gonna lack way too much? Or that's something that goes through my mind. But I feel like that's also something that goes through a lot of people's minds, like, I mean, we also have to remember that we amateurs, right? Like, we can't compare ourselves to the pros. We can't do these things because we're not pros. And like, you see a lot of like pictures on social media, and all this stuff, people from shows where pro competes, like Olympia. That's what we get influenced by. We don't probably watch that much amateur shows as we watch pro shows. And comparing yourself to these guys, which is literally the top guys in the world, is it's not fair, right? Because that's not where we at. So we have to compare ourselves with amateurs. That's something that I have to remind myself, because otherwise I always think I'm never good enough. It's like, dude, fuck, I can't step on stage. I'm not gonna be big enough. I'm not gonna like look good enough and all these things. So I think it's the same issue for a lot of people. People always chasing a look that is quite far away, and they're never satisfied with what they have, which means they're probably never gonna compete. I mean, of course, we going into a show, we want to win, but we also have to be realistic with the physique we do have. And being in an off season for too long, I don't think it's that productive, to be honest. For some people it might be, but for majority of people, I don't think that's the best phase to be in for too long, because after a while things might just fade away a little bit, perhaps whatever, your motivation, like things that you be super locked in, you're starting to be ease up on some of these things, and like whatever, For me, I'm still very locked in with everything I do, but I'm starting to realize that I'm getting very lazy, and sometimes I just like, I'm not that prepared anymore, like I don't do groceries when I'm supposed to do groceries, and like I'm fucking tired, I want to sleep, I want to be in my bed resting for a bit, and things like that. It's just like small things that doesn't restrict you, right? Because I can always go to a grocery store and get the food in that I'm supposed to, and I always do, right? But I mean, I don't know. It's just like some things just fades away a little bit. Being that heavy for that long is also, for some people, might not be the most enjoyable, and so on. So yeah, I don't know. Perhaps I'm just finding an excuse to get a bit lighter. I don't know. And I'm also tired of, like, I'm still having a decent body composition, but I'm starting to be really keen to get shredded, like to just like don't have that midsection extension all the time, like where you need to hold that shit in because you're full of food and all that shit, like it would be very nice to feel a little bit lighter and everything feels way tighter, if that's a good explanation. So yeah, let's see. But now I will head to the gym, do some abs, calves, biceps, which is quite a quick workout, which is nice actually. So I'll do that and I will head back and I'll probably do some cardio. My cardio hasn't been in place because I was sick, that I had a hard time to breathe, so my cardio hasn't been on point in the last week because I feel like it's not worth to push things if you don't feel well. It just can backfire and make everything worse. So make sure you're taking smart decisions to get you further, and don't just be greedy and do things. Be smart because that will help you in the long run. Yeah, that's what we're up to now, and I'll see you guys later. So stay tuned. What up, guys? We are back, and it's actually the next day. I didn't have time to record more yesterday because it was such a busy day. But I just came back from the gym training my Chinese client. Dude, that guy is so funny. It's crazy how he barely speaks English and I don't speak Chinese, but we still make it work. He's 47 years old, coming to Thailand, training for 30 days just to feel 5 years younger. That's what he says. Which is, I don't know, I think is very impressive, to be honest, man, because this guy, he doesn't want to relax at the gym. I tell you that. He don't want to rest a fucking second. He just want to go straight into it. So that's a lot of fun actually. And he also do a little bit. He records every set and everything, and he do a little video from the session and send me after every session. So funny. He's a legend. I swear to God. Look at my hair. That looks absolutely beautiful. Perhaps this should be my new haircut or hairstyle. I had a cap on. That's why it looks like this. But okay, my own training is coming up soon. I just inhaled my pre-workout meal and I'm about to hit the gym. And we're training back today, pull, which is kind of nice. I like back training. The only thing I don't like is at one of the gym I train at, they bought a new T-bar row because the old one broke down, but the new T-bar row they bought is literally so freaking bad. This gym is going downhill, and it's Muscle Factory I'm talking about. I don't know what happened to that gym, but it's just not it anymore. The machines they buy is literally just like cheap brands, shit quality, and just replacing other machines with, which doesn't make sense at all. So that is very sad, unfortunately, because the gym has such a potential and I think it could be a great gym, but they just don't care. They're just buying cheap shit to have a shit ton of machines, but not care about the quality at all, which, yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It just sucks. So if you come to Thailand, I don't know if Muscle Factory is the place anymore, to be honest. I train at Unreal as well, Unreal Gym, which is a really good gym. You can check that out because that is actually very nice. Yeah, but I live close to Muscle Factory. That's why I do some sessions there, and I'd like to switch it up a little bit because Muscle Factory is such a huge gym, and you don't really have to wait for a lot of machines. And I like to train in the heat sometimes as well because they don't have an aircon, right? But yeah, let's see. Perhaps I'm gonna swap gym and just train at Unreal. I don't know yet. Let's see what happens. My sleep was also really bad today again, which sucks because it makes me have low energy, unfortunately. But the work has to be done, and we going. And I feel like I look old as well, like wrinkles and look at that shit. Yeah, holy damn. I'm not 20 anymore. It's time to get that Botox in. So if you want to support me for all the cosmetic work, right? For all the cosmetic work, yeah, just reach out and we figure it out together. Because that needs to be done if this man is going to be on camera. I feel like, because I don't want to scare people away. And that's starting to get to that point. I feel like, look at that hair, look at that wrinkles. Absolutely insane. But at least we're getting bigger, we're getting huge, which is the main goal. So that's what I'm gonna do today. Head to the gym, train hard, get bigger. You know how we do it. What up, peeps? We are back from the gym. I had a good pull session. Not too good, to be honest. I just feel slightly off today. I don't know what it is. Something is not spot on. I feel very hot and a little bit off. But I still managed to have a good session. So I'm happy with that. And we're up for post-workout meal. And with that, having the beautiful Coke Zero vanilla flavor. That is so good. Absolutely beautiful. So, right now, I will inhale this meal. Dude, that looks so good. Just look at that. Look at that. Beef mince, rice, pineapple, honey, pear, vanilla Coke Zero. That is so good. That is unbelievable. My hair looks crazy. I'm glad I still have hair, to be honest, after all the blasting I'm doing. Jokes. I also met another Chinese couple in the gym today. Another photo for Mr. Lundquist becoming a celebrity. I feel like if I moved to China, that would be crazy. Chinese people they're very nice. They're very nice people. I didn't thought so before I actually met a lot of them, I mean, you see a lot of Chinese tourists everywhere, right? And these are not usually the nicest tourists. They're just going crazy, But here in Thailand, I got another experience. They are very nice and very kind, especially when they're like you in a way, where they just like, they want to take pictures, they want to chat for a bit, they want to help. I mean, they are very nice. So perhaps I had a wrong picture of these Chinese people. And I'm super keen to go to China. I'm gonna do that in the future. And China looks absolutely amazing. It looks super cool, super beautiful, has some good gyms. So I'm definitely keen to do that for sure. But right now, I will eat this meal, watch something on YouTube, and then hopefully talk to you guys later. I might gonna head to the gym and train a client as well, but let's see. You are the G's. Don't forget that. You are legends. What up, peeps? We are, right now, 4 meals in. And I'm starting to get really full. I have one more meal to go, which I'm not looking forward to. But we have to do it. We need to get it down. But I will wait a little bit because I just ate my 4th meal. So hopefully if I can get a little bit of movement in, I can digest this very well and I can manage to get another meal in before I go to bed. What is like the worst with it as well is like, I feel like I have to push back my meals a lot. So it's getting closer to bedtime, and sometimes I even have to go to bed later because I just need to get my food in, which is not something I want to do. But it is what it is. We need to get it done. We have a work to do, and we're not finished until we are done. That is the mindset. That is the goals. That is the goal. So, yeah. Something I do want to show you guys. I don't think I ever showed you this, but this looks kind of sick, to be honest. This is Bangkok from my balcony by night. Look at this. Damn, that shit looks sick. Absolutely beautiful. What have you? I feel I'm gonna puke here. This city is absolutely beautiful and something that I never experienced before. When I came here the first time, I was blown away. Because, you know, I'm from a small city in Sweden. We don't have skyscrapers. We don't have roads like this. We don't have, you know, this kind of like massive buildings, which is kind of impressive, to be honest. So, dude, I don't know. I'm just blown away. Every time I just stand here on my balcony watching the view, it looks so surreal. It looks like it's unreal. It doesn't look like it's real even, you know? Look at that shit. Absolutely beautiful. And down here, we have a hospital. So if anything goes wrong, we are nearby, which is good. Nothing's going wrong. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that for sure. I just had some check-in this morning, so I still have my black backdrop up. And I'll show you the check-ins. We are heavy. 120. I was even peaking at 121 for a bit. And the water retention started to get a little bit bad. You know when you take your socks off and you really have that like line like sinks in, you know? Even when I sit on a chair sometimes it just sinks in and you get that kind of crazy line in your leg, which looks super funny. Right now, I feel like I need to take a little break here. Look at that fucking hell. You know, I can barely breathe when I'm on my back. It's very good to have my CPAP. I feel like even my CPAP can barely save me anymore. Starting to be a heavy boy. Oh damn, I look so fat when I do this. It looks funny. I'm starting to be a heavy boy, which is something I'm not super familiar with because I've never been heavy, you know? And it's so crazy how you never feel big. I still feel like I'm 80 kilos, you know? It never goes away. This bigorexia is literally a thing. But I don't know, I think also it comes down to perhaps I will look better if I'm in shape, but I think my frame is so big and I have so much to fill out. So even at 120, I feel like I look a little bit stringy. I don't feel like I'm filling out the frame good enough. Which also comes down to like muscle bellies and all these kind of things, you know, if you're having round muscles and where the muscle attach, the tendon, how long is the tendon, how long is the muscle, all these kind of things, right? So I don't know if I'm ever gonna fill out this frame and look big. My legs is definitely not gonna be looking big, unfortunately. I just accepted that. I think that's the case. I don't have that round muscle belly in my legs. And adductors are not that big. I feel like I have a short muscle belly, a long tendon in my adductor as well. So it's like inserts very high up, which makes my adductor barely existing. And that also explains why I'm quite strong when I'm doing like an adductor machine. That explains a lot because if we have long tendons, short muscle means we're going to be strong. If we're having a long muscle, short tendon usually means we're gonna be a little bit weaker. That explains a lot and why my legs doesn't get big. I also don't have a good outer sweep. My legs are very straight. And I don't get that round look as I do in my shoulders and so on. But we can only do our best. And that's what it is, right? So I feel my legs is always going to be lacking a little bit. But something that is good with my legs is I feel like I get good separations. And that saves me a lot. So if I can get good lines and separations in my legs, that's going to make them look so much better. You know, that's what it is. You have to play on your strong sides. Is that how you say it? I don't know. You have to try to hide your weaknesses, right? And you need to show off your good parts. I don't know if I'm getting a stroke now. My ability to to speak, it's just disappeared. But I think you get what I'm saying. So that's all about posing as well. I mean, posing is also very individual, I feel like, because you need to hide those weak points in the best kind of way and make yourself look good to show off your strong points. Practice posing is also something I need to do. I'm kind of just like talking air right now, but okay, guys, I'm probably gonna end it here right now, and this might have been a little bit of boring video. It might have been a boring video. I'm sorry for that, but I will try to keep it up in the future and make it even better and better. The only bad thing with Bangkok, which sucks a little bit, because I want to take you out and about and just walk on the streets and talk, you know, but the traffic is so noisy and it just fucks up the sound, and you can barely hear what I'm saying when I do that. So, but I will try to use my microphone and see if I can do some kind of like noise cancellation kind of thing, you know, and reduce the background noise. Hopefully we can figure that out in the future, because I want to show you this beautiful city as well and take you with me when I do my walks, which is very convenient. You are legends, don't forget that. And I see you in the next video.